What's up, everybody? How you doing? It is the big dog named Austin. Week 8 of the NFL season is here. Starts tomorrow or tonight, whichever depends on whenever I get this video uploaded. Thursday night. We're already in week 8. This is, well, almost the midway point of the season. I think about Wednesday or so will be about the midway point of the regular season. Things are getting hot. Things are getting very interesting. I didn't pick my games last week. I'm sure I would have done okay. There were a couple of surprises, but nonetheless, I'm doing it this week. I got some time, so let's get into it. Going to be using the iPad from here on out. So, on Thursday night, the Minnesota Vikings travel to the LA Rams. The LA Rams are, in my mind, hitting the reset button. Yeah, Aaron Donald obviously retire. Cooper Kupp's been kind of in and out of the lineup. Puka Nacua, he's been on IR. The Rams are actually looking to trade Cooper Kupp. Now, I don't really know much about that, but that's a pretty big deal. The Vikings are coming off of a loss to the Detroit Lions. Don't let that loss fool you, though. The Vikings are a really good team. They're actually favored by 3. I got the Vikings winning in this one. Now we move on to Sunday, October 27th. Who doesn't love October football? An AFC North clash between the Baltimore Ravens, who are a wagon. They go into Cleveland to take on Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns. Now, honestly, forget the injury. I think Jameis Winston's a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson. I think that gives them a better chance to win. I think they might get a little bit of a jolt. They're at home, but I don't think it'll be enough to beat the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens are just too good. Derrick Henry leads the league in rushing touchdowns, yards per carry. You name it, he leads the league. Derrick Henry on the Baltimore Ravens is almost too perfect. It's almost too good. But the Ravens are favored by 9. They probably will end up winning by 10 points or more. I think the Browns can keep it somewhat interesting, but the Browns are a mess this year. Nick Chubb coming back. Myles Garrett's still playing. Is he on the trade block? Who knows? But yeah, give me the Baltimore Ravens to continue their dominance on the AFC North. Houston Texans take on the Indianapolis Colts in Houston. If you remember back to week 1, the Houston Texans defeated the Indianapolis Colts 29-27. Houston Texans currently hold first place in the AFC South at 5-2. The Indianapolis Colts are second in the AFC South at 4-3. Now, if the Colts do win this game, both teams would then go to 5-3, but the Texans would have a better division record. So, the Texans would still have first place in the AFC South. But this is a big game. C.J. Stroud last week had his worst game as a starter in his career. I'm going to assume his entire career dating back to high school. But his definitely his worst game in his NFL career. Only 86 yards passing for C.J. Stroud last week. I don't expect that to continue. He is without his top receiver in Nico Collins. That is a big deal. He has been a Colt killer, but they still got offensive weapons. Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, Joe Mixon too much. If you remember back to week 1, Joe Mixon went over $150 against the Colts. So I'm going to go with the Houston Texans this one. I think that C.J. Stroud has a bounce-back game. I hate to admit it because I had the Colts and Texans splitting this year. One can only hope, right? But taking all bias out of it, Colts, Texans, give me the Texans. And that 5-point favorite for the Texans seems about right. I think about a 4 to 7 point game. Every single Colts game this season has been a one-possession game. Win or loss. So they're going to be in it. I just think the Texans are going to get it done. Speaking of the Green Bay Packers, they travel to Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville Jaguars are fresh off a 2-week trip to London to play their 2 games in London. They split. They came back. I don't think they beat the Packers. I think the Packers are really, really good right now. The Tennessee Titans, who they might be in a little bit of a rebuild too. They traded away DeAndre Hopkins, just announced on Wednesday. They take on the Detroit Lions in Detroit. The Detroit Lions are favored by 11 points. I think that's about right. About 14-point favorites, or 14-point game is what I expect. I don't expect the Titans to be competitive in this one. I expect the Lions to get out after Will Levis. He's going to create some turnovers. Jared Goff is playing at an MVP level. They're rolling right now. They're the best team in the NFC. Give me the Lions. The Atlanta Falcons, who are coming off a pretty surprising loss, I think it was a pretty surprising loss, to the Seattle Seahawks last week, 34-14. They travel to Tampa Bay, who they just lost Chris Godwin for the season, and I'm not real sure about Mike Evans. He may have tweaked his hamstring, may have pulled it, but they're down some guys. And Tampa Bay just got beaten Baltimore. I like Tampa Bay. I liked Baker Mayfield, but I think that Atlanta has a bounce back week in Tampa Bay in this big NFC South clash. Probably the who cares game of the week. The New York Jets traveling to the New England Patriots. The Jets are favored by 7. Go ahead and give me the Jets. The Patriots suck. And you got the coach calling them soft. So yeah, give me the Jets in this game, even though they're not much better. The Arizona Cardinals take on the Miami Dolphins. The Cardinals coming off a Monday night win against the Chargers. The Miami Dolphins, of course, coming off a loss to the Indianapolis Colts, but they might be getting Tua Tagovailoa back, so that might be interesting. The Dolphins are actually favored by 3.5. Last week, if you remember, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle combined for 2 catches for 19 yards. So go ahead and give me the Cardinals in this one, because I still think that it'll be a little bit of a rust for Tua coming back. The last 1 o'clock game on this slate for Sunday, the Cincinnati Bengals, they did beat the Cleveland Browns 21-14. The Philadelphia Eagles, they are currently 4-2 after a thrashing of the New York Giants 28-3. The Giants suck. I think the Philadelphia Eagles get this one done. Saquon Barkley's running really well. The Bengals defense hasn't been really that great this season. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles. To kick off our 4 o'clock slate, the Saints travel to the Chargers. Of course, the Chargers coming off the loss to the Cardinals. The Saints, after they were honoring Drew Brees at halftime, they lost to the Denver Broncos 33-10. The Saints, they have some injuries. Derek Carr hasn't been playing. I think the Chargers take this one. This might be a really sneaky good game. The Buffalo Bills travel to the Seattle Seahawks to take on the 12th man in Century League Field. I don't remember what the field's name is. It goes through so many name changes. But the Bills are favored by 3 points. I think the Seahawks can win this one. I'm going to go with the Seahawks, but I would not be surprised if the Buffalo Bills got it done in Seattle. The Chicago Bears take on the Washington Commanders. I think Jaden Daniels is going to be out for a while. That's unfortunate because I would have loved to seen Jaden Daniels versus Caleb Williams. I think that would have been a really, really intriguing matchup. Unfortunately, I do think that Jaden Daniels is going to be out for a little bit due to some rib injuries. So that means Marcus Mariota is a go. The Bears are favored by 3 on the road. Now, the Commanders, they are a solid team this year. I got to give them that. But I just think the Bears found their mojo. Caleb Williams is playing really well. The Bears are coming off of a bye. Go ahead and give me the Chicago Bears. The Kansas City Chiefs, who just traded for DeAndre Hopkins, as I mentioned earlier in this video, they travel to the Las Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders, just about as much of a mess as any team in the AFC, not named the Jets or the Jags. This is going to be a blowout. Give me the Chiefs. The Carolina Panthers travel to the Denver Broncos. The Dallas Cowboys at the San Francisco 49ers. Both of these teams are kind of having a down year. The Cowboys are 3-3. The 49ers are 3-4. This is a pretty big rivalry. The Cowboys aren't dealing with as much as injuries as they are dealing with just bad football. The 49ers have been dealing with a lot of injuries. Brandon Ayuk's out for the season. Who knows what's going on with Christian McCaffrey? There's been a lot going on with the San Francisco 49ers. But it is in San Francisco. I'm going to go with the 49ers in this one. And to round it out, this Monday night game kind of sucks. The Pittsburgh Steelers host the New York Giants. Wow. I can't wait to watch Daniel Jones and the New York Giants offense on Monday night. Give me the Steelers. And apparently there's no team that has a bye week this week, which is kind of strange. Look at the next week. There's only 2 teams that got a bye week next week. That's kind of weird that that's the Monday night game. I guess you think the Giants are going to be a little better coming in this year? There's no way. I don't know. Some of these night games, some of these primetime games have been a little questionable. I'm like, why have they scheduled that? Why are they doing that? But it is what it is. It's football, Just 10 weeks ago, we were like, we just want football, right? And now here we are complaining about the matchups. Teams got to play each other. But that's it. Hopefully my picks do all right this time around. I am the big dog named Austin. I don't got nothing else to say. There's just so much going on. I appreciate you guys watching. Please subscribe. Please like this video. I'll try to get to some more videos as we go forward, but life's just been pretty hectic right now. But I appreciate you guys sticking around. I am always, as always, I am always the big dog. Always named always Austin. Always go Colts.